Okay. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. We're a minute late. We're 2 minutes late. Oh crap. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Wait, did I end it? Oh my goodness. Am I still streaming? Someone help, I don't know. Oh, wait, it's up. It's up. 3 minutes late, but I think it's up. Wait, did I end it? Oh my god. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, you can hear me now, but I've been talking to that mic for about like 2 minutes. Hello, Razor Grid. Hello, Wads. I hope your sister enjoys. I hope your sister enjoys your her birthday. But according to you, she's a moody biatch. So that is interesting to know. Anyway, so let me see if I got everything all set up for good before I take down this stream overlay. Is lower than open widget. I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means. Warning. Current bit rate is lower than the record. Well, I mean, I would, but I don't know how to do that. I'm not my, aw, that's a shame. It's a shame that you and your sister don't get along. Well, I don't know really what to do about that. It says my bit rate is lower than it's supposed to, and I don't know, or my KB thing, it says it's supposed to be 680, 800 words, numbers. What are they? I don't know. I don't know how to change it though. Especially now that I start the stream, so I think I'm just gonna have to roll with it. I don't even know, like, I've never actually checked my analytics while my stream's running, so I don't even know if it's that, but, so we will just forget about that, and we will, try to, go forth, and, we will try to go forth and, just get a, go forth and draw. Okay, here we go. I actually was going to draw something else. I was going to work on this, but since I'm making this into a speed paint, I figured I probably shouldn't draw this on live stream. So instead, we are going to be working on this. And if you are wondering what this is, I'm working on my Masato style multiverse thing. You've been seeing it on whips put on Twitter, and this is the first time I'm actually going to show them off. So far, I have done Fumo 1, Fumo 2. Those are the ones that I'm probably the most proud of. Fumos! Oh wait, no, I moved the wrong thing. There. Fumos! They're so cute. Jump, 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 jump. Yep, made 2 different Fumos. That would be Masato and Fumo style. Then, after that, well, actually, I made those later down the road, but I just got them on the bottom because they're just little Fumos. So I thought I would keep those out of the way. And then, after that, the first one I did was Misato in Attack on Titan style, which is probably the one that actually got me thinking about doing this in the first place, because I thought it would be really interesting to draw her in a more grounded anime setting. So because of that, she does not have her multicolored hair. Misato's hair is only multicolored because of her powers. If she did not have her powers, her hair would just be solid black unless she dyed it. And I don't think there's dyes in the Attack on Titans world, hair dye. And if there is, I don't think a Survey Corps member would have access to it. So I just drew her hair all black, which I gotta say I actually kind of like. And then after that, I did Kimetsu no Yaiba style, which is one of the ones right next to Attack on Titan that I was looking most forward to drawing her in. And I gotta say, I really am proud of this. I think it really did a really good job on copying the style. I would say probably if Misato was to use any breath style from Kimetsu no Yaiba, it would probably be, well, if she was limited to an existing blood and breath style, it would probably be love bending. Just because I really do like that one, and according to the wiki, you can use it with a normal sword. It's just a little bit more harder. But if I was gonna make up her own, it would be ink, which would probably be something, I don't know. So it's just what's in my mind. Anyway, next one is Boku no Hero Academia, or My Hero Academia, and face I'm not as proud about, but other than that, I really do like her hero costume that I came up with. It's mostly the same as her original outfit. I just made a few changes and added a few things like these sharp like blades on it, because I wanted to think of this as a superhero costume. And in My Hero Academia, there seems to be a lot of functionality. The next one is one my brother actually requested, Misato in Steins Gate style. And I gotta say, I really do like it. And I didn't actually say that. In Kimetsu no Yaiba, multicolored hair definitely does seem to exist. And it always exists for the weirdest reasons. So the reason that I gave for her hair being multicolored is it got caught in a printing press. Because I figured that would be funny. So that is why her hair is multicolored. And then in My Hero Academia, it's just her powers, because it's the same. Because, quirks, superpowers. So no reason for that. I also was able to put the markings on her face because, again, her powers are the reason for that. And then for Steins Gate, she just dyes her hair. And she also wears cat ears to kind of embrace that whole otaku vibe. And I gotta say, I really do like this one because it was really fun mimicking the style and drawing her in a much more muted color palette. This is more closer to the anime, obviously, than it is the game. Next one I am really proud of, and that would be Neon Genesis Evangelion. I almost actually forgot about this anime when I was doing this style, and that's actually really it would have been a bummer if I did, because for those who do not know, Misato is named after Misato Kutsuragi, and I made it that is her favorite anime, so it would be very a shame if I didn't draw her in that style. And I made her plug suit, and once again, she dyes her hair. If Ritsuko can dye her hair, then I guess she has access to hair dye. And I gave her hair clips similar to Asuka, because why not? They look adorable, and they look like cat ears. And then after that, I did Death Note, which I was very interested in doing, because Death Note's more of a semi-realistic kind of more. It's even more kind of got a realistic style to it than Attack on Titan, so that was very interesting. And then the last one I finished off was Persona, or Shin Megami Tensei series, but more specifically Persona 5 Royal, and I am very happy with this one too. And I very am like it. And I would show you the rest of them, but I don't got them. I haven't done Zetsu yet, haven't done Full Metal Alchemist yet, haven't done Fruits Basket, haven't done Spy X Family, and haven't done Tokyo Mew Mew. But the one I did do, and that is because it is actually from a colored page of my original series, Revolution Full Color, Snow White. Well, actually, to be honest, this was supposed to be, so let me Let me open it up. Oh, hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. Did you hear that the new version of Whistle While You Work got leaked and they somehow messed it up? Oh yeah, I will talk about that in a second. I'm right now showing off my little project that I'm doing. For those who've just now shown up, I'm basically making Masato in the style of different animes. So I've got, let me see, I've got Persona, Disappear Snow White, Death Note, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Steins Gate, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, and Attack on Titans. Oh, and also Fumos, because Fumos are adorable. I wish I could make her into Fumo. Hello, Totally Boss Detective. Hello, Junebug. It's so nice to see all you guys here. It's very fun when people are here. So I'm glad that you guys are here. This is the drawing I was originally going to be doing on stream, but then I realized I wanted that to be a speed paint. In fact, actually, I'm going to leave that open for a little bit because I want to talk about that. So I'm working on Revolution Full Color. Where to go? Where to go? And in chapter 1 there was this page right here, and I was going to make it colored, but I have to do a lot of editing with chapter 1 because there were some art mistakes that were made, also some spelling mistakes, because I ended up making this chapter really fast because of I was going on vacation at the time. Good times, good times. So because of that, I'm going to go back and fix some mistakes that I made because it was just inevitable because of me being in a rush. So anyway, I just was going to make this entire page colored, but it was just not the I just didn't want to really do that anymore. So instead, I just decided to take Misato's in her Snow White dress and put it right here in my style challenge. So I will upload this colored version of Misato as Snow White onto all my art platforms, all my platforms that I upload my art to when I upload all of these. And if you're wondering why, if you're wondering who this is, for those who do not know, this is Masato Yoshiko. She is the original character to my the main character to my original story, Revolution in Full Color. And in the series, there are a lot of parallels to Snow White. And yes, I did come up with that idea of doing parallels to Snow White before Disney even announced they were doing Snow White. Well, I think it was announced, but nothing was revealed about their version of Snow White. And Hilo says if she was in JoJo, what would her stand be? I don't know JoJo, to be honest. My brother talks to me about like a lot. I want to get some music on. Can't put this music on because I will be struck by the YouTube. And I don't really actually feel like doing my usual live stream music because that's a little bit more rocky and rolly. And I just don't I don't have the brains for that right now, so I'm just gonna actually just do the YouTube audio music, which will make this the first stream to not be taken down by, well, none of my streams have been taken down, but because I usually use, like, YouTube music, like Amelie, Kayla Piles, and Jonathan Young, and they all let you use their music. You just can't make money off of it, so it gets copyright claim. So none of them have been taken down, but this will be the first one to not be copyright claim. Anyway, so JoJo, I haven't really, like I said, my brother knows more about JoJo. I have to say, if her stand would be anything, it would probably be, well, I mean, her powers are blood manipulation, so just basic biokinetics. She can manipulate her blood, freely. How it would probably differ from usual, blood manipulation is just in the fact that, one, it can expand when it goes to air, so that's also how I'm able to, like, if she wanted to make something really big, people would be saying, how does she not die of blood loss? Well, the reason why is because her blood can expand when it goes to air, so that allows her to make bigger creations with a lower amount of blood. But if she does make too much creations, or creations that are too detailed, or too big, then she will start running the risk of being low of blood. And also, the way it differs is the side effect of her blood is that it is toxic. So if it gets into your someone else's bloodstream, then it could paralyze you. And then if it gets really bad, it could like paralyze you to the point of where you might, die, because it will stop your heart. So it's more written in depth in series. It's going to be a lot more explained than I am doing it on my sleep brain. And my brain just farted. Yeah, so it's slightly toxic, if it was to go into somebody. And then also the final differences, which you might have been able to see if you saw that color page. Let me reopen it up. Its pigment can change. So on default, it is black, and then we'll kind of have like a holographic effect in the CMY color scheme. So if you kind of, when you kind of like shake something up, it kind of seems to have like a color to it. So it'd be kind of like that. And then she can just flat out manipulate the color to be something else. But on default, it would be like blackish. Anyway, so that is Masato Yoshoko's powers. And if you're wondering what this is just an illustration that I was doing of Snow White. But the reason why I was actually creating it was because I'm drawing her in Yu-Gi-Oh's Exile style, and I'm drawing her in Persona style. And I always kind of imagined what her persona would look like, and this is actually what I came up with. Snow White holding an apple in a coffin. And if it was a persona, it would probably be Curse. Attribute would probably be Curse, and it would probably do like curse effects, like I can't pronounce it. The curse effect in Persona 5, whatever it's called. I can't pronounce it, and I can't think about to pronounce it. And also a lot of physical attacks. That's what it'd be like. And then if it was XZ's card from Yu-Gi-Oh, then it would probably be rank 8 XZ's monster, and or rank 7 for 7 dwarves. And it would probably be dark attribute, and I don't really know what its effects would be. Anyway, okay, anyway, let me go back to chat because people have been chatting. Comic spelling errors feel like when you scrape a knee. Yep. Best be careful with that copyright. I don't know what you were referring to because I didn't look at the chat when you were saying that. Hilo says, there's a stand that kind of does blood manipulation, though it's more so manipulating the iron in the blood. It's called Metallica. Nora Vanguard, who invited you? The basic answer to the JoJo question is it would be True Color. No, once. How do you know what my thing would be? It's mine. Hello, Mabel. Okay, anyway, let's get to drawing. Let's get to actual drawing. This is what we're here for, folks. This music's gonna put me to sleep. I like the. It's gonna be. There we go. It's gonna be Old Lang Syne for a while. It's like. So for Misato, when she is as Snow White, I made her hair all black, but I still gave her the dual colored eyes. Although her magenta eye, it's not pink, it's magenta, has more of kind of a reddish tint to it. Because her colors are no longer naturally when she is Snow White. She has the primary color scheme instead of the CMYK color scheme, which is actually one of the reasons why I start. So actually, how I ended up referencing Snow White, it just kind of happened on accident. So I ended up I ended up creating Misato by listening to a Lindsay Sterling AMV, and I just kind of thought of this idea of this girl and this. Well, I already drew her. I drew her when I was watching Attack on Titan's movie Trouble in Tokyo. Love that movie, great movie. And I was thinking of the character Brushogun. That's what her powers are based off of. It's based off of Brushogun from Teen Titans. Did I say Attack on Titans earlier? I meant Teen Titans. I don't know what I said. But Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo. If I said Attack on Titans Trouble in Tokyo, then I don't know what's wrong with me. But oh, thank you. Thank you, totally boss detective. Yeah, so anyway, I first made her just by basing her off her Brushogun. I didn't really know if she was going to be a villain or a bad or a hero. I knew she was gonna kind of be like Black Cat is in Batman. So she was going to be kind of like that femme fatale feline girl who steals and such like that. Her cat costume, in fact, I can actually pull it up. Let me pull it up. Let me do one more thing first. Might as well get some Revolution full color trivia here, folks. This was the very first drawing I made of her. As you can see, it's something, and like I said, I was just inspired off of Teen Titans, Teen Titans Brushogun. This is what I ended up coming up with, and her cat ears on her hoodie aren't visible, but they are there. And then later on, I made some changes to her design here and there, and this is what she looks like now. Mostly the same. I just got rid of the blue part, lowered the crop top a little bit, made the silver ring smaller, and changed the tennis shoes, and got rid of the pocket and the extra designs on the bottom of the hoodie, and changed up the shoes to be more simplistic. Oh, hello, Shy Shades! Thank you! I'm so glad that you like it. And so, yeah, that's pretty much Misato Yoshiko. And then I came up with her story when I was listening to a Lindsay Sterling AMV not music video, just song. It was Underground. So because of that, I kind of associate that song with her. And I gotta move my microphone a little bit. It's a little too over. And so because of that, I just came up with the story that I came up with was a girl who was going to get revenge on a scientist who ended up wronging her, and then she ends up failing, and then she's taken in by these groups of rebels who are going to overthrow the scientist because she ends up controlling a lot of the government. And that's pretty much how Revolution Full Color started, and then I ended up creating more and more characters. Originally, it was just supposed to have 3 main characters who would be the focus for the Revolution, but then I added in 7 because I figured that the entire show series might be a reference to color theory. So I ended up creating 7 main Revolution colors. Characters, colors. Words, what are they? And I was really happy about it. And I started just making little subtle nods to Snow White with Misato's character. Mainly just in the fact that she had black hair and pale skin. And I always usually actually make my characters a reference to like different fairy tales. It's just something that I do. So in a Never story, one of my characters, she was originally supposed to be Anastasia, but then I thought, that's not a fairy tale. That's like an urban legend. So I was like, I'll do Cinderella. But then I ended up just like embracing the Anastasia references. It's not a fairy tale. Anastasia was a real person, obviously. My brother once said that the Romanov Empire, is like the female equivalent to the Roman question for men. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I think about the Romanov Empire every day. I think about Anastasia. I think about that stuff. It would not be incorrect to say that occupies my brain. Like, it's like a lot. I forgot to clip this. So, yeah. That's a fair summation. So anyway, Mabel says color-coded heroes warm my heart. Yeah, well, here, let me just show them. Here they be. This is all my characters for Evolution full color. So this is, well, one of them is missing because I haven't designed them yet. Masato has a doctor who aids her here and there. But this would be Masato, the main heroine, her cat Sumi, her partner XR. You can't see him because his back is turned, which is fitting. And then these would be the revolutionists. Go, the main leader. His right-hand man, Casimir. Lemon, Switch, V, Leviathan, Viper. Those are just their code names. And each one of them are based off of, well, a color, obviously, as you can see, from red, though there's blue in her outfit too. It's primarily supposed to be red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So that's what I came up with. And then the lady in the back would be the evil scientist lady who controls the government, and then that would be her right-hand man who she has to do all of her bidding. And his color scheme would be based off of the exact an RGB color scheme. So for Masato, it's CMYK, and then for him, it's RGB. And since there's only 4 colors, I added white. And that's also the colors of the colors of the nation that they live in, which is a fictionalized items. Anyway, it's all on my video. You can check it out. I'll link to it. But if you want to learn more about that, then you can go there. But anyway, Snow White references started coming into the story just because I was like, I have the habit of making my characters references to fairy tales. So one is based off, has a lot of references to Anastasia. Again, not a fairy tale, but whatever. Another one is a reference to The Little Mermaid. Another one's has references to Sleeping Beauty. Another one has some references to Sherlock Holmes. Not a fairy tale, but it is a fictionalized story. And then for Snow White, that was actually going to be another character from the same series. But then I started actually changing it up and making Masato have references to Snow White because she had short black hair. She had, there's some elements to her backstory that's a little bit similar. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil my own series. But she has a little bit of some parallels to Snow White. And then also at last minute I realized that she meets 7 people. So obviously in the story of Snow White she meets 7 dwarves. For Masato she meets 7 revolutionists. And that was actually a happy little accident because the only reason why I have 7 revolutionist characters is because of 7 colors and 7 base colors in the standardized rainbow. But then I realized, hey, 7 colors, rainbow, 7 dwarfs. Am I right? So it's like, it was just one of those things. I was like, it was a very happy accident, and I was actually very excited about it. There was also a few other references to Snow White that were a little bit happy accidents with Masato's backstory. And one of the things that I noticed is that ever since Disney's Snow White's always been associated with the primary colors, which used to be the standardized mixing colors until cyan, magenta, and yellow and key came along. So that was actually something that I also liked because whenever she's referencing Snow White, that, references kind of like a more older, traditionalized story, fairy tale setting, and then modern her is this. Although I don't know the history of it. I know CMYK has definitely been used for a long time. I think it started like in the late 1800s. I don't know the full history, and if I do, it's definitely not right now, as my brain is fried. Anyway, let's go back to the chat. Thoughts on Chainsaw Man? I don't read the manga. I know everyone started. The internet exploded when a certain chapter came about because they couldn't even. I have to admit I probably wouldn't like it either, but at the same time it's like it's Chainsaw Man. That's the one thing that I find funny because some people were saying Chainsaw Man's supposed to be family friendly. I'm like, what? Do you not read? How? It's not family friendly. I mean, the first chapter, first episode has the guy being butchered. The Denji. It's like it's not family friendly. It's not family friendly in the slightest. I don't know why you think that. But I don't read the manga, so I don't even know what the context is to that chapter. The anime art style, very nice. I do like it. I like the anime style a lot more than the manga. I know that's kind of a I know it's kind of a hot button issue when it comes to Chainsaw Man because I know a lot of people are very fond of the manga style, and since the anime took a more kind of grounded, realistic style, some people did not like that, which was fine. I can understand that, but me personally, I like the anime style actually. Story-wise, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I don't think it kind of builds up everything great, but at the same time, I mean, like, Kimetsu no Yaiba doesn't either, so it's like, and I think it does it better than Kimetsu no Yaiba, so that's fine. I'm not really a fan of it per se, though. It's definitely not on my list, like, at all, mainly because I'm not a fan of too gory animes, and it goes into a little bit territory where it's a bit much for me. I mean, Kimetsu no Yaiba goes into this territory. It's like episode, I forget if it's 18 or 19 of season 1. It's like, that's like the fight was Ruri. It's like, okay, that's a little much. Attack on Titan, same thing. But the thing is, with those, I really do enjoy the story. So it's like, I shall allow it. But rather than that, oh, hello, Riot Kitty. Oh, wait, I gotta go back. Chat's going too fast. There's too many people. Not that I mind. Never mind. Okay, anyway. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Chainsaw Man. Totally Boss Detective says, the historical stuff getting stuck in one's head is relatable. I used to be real big into the South and Central American history stuff because of my heritage from there. Oh, that's so cool. I read some history books about Central and South America. I also read some stories in there. Yeah, it's a very, very interesting history. I will say that. That's really cool. Anyway, ignoring that one, that's just my brother. I still have... anyway, he says, I still have the older draft file on my laptop when I was helping her with the composition. Oh, for the Revolution full color drawing. Yeah, he actually helped with that composition a little bit because I had everyone drawn, but I couldn't really figure out where to put them. So it's like I finished everyone individually, and then I was like, how do I do this? And then it ends up actually having to be really done. Who is the indigo one? Oh, did I not say her name? I think I did. Let me really open that up. Misato Yoshiko, XR, Go, Casimir, Switch, Lemon, V, like the letter V, Leviathan, Viper. And then Dr. Zhang Lu, and then Vitus. Those are the main characters for Revolution Full Color. And, like I said, those are just their code names. Their real names are, Still kind of in debate on what I'm actually going to choose them to be. I have them all written down and I have them all picked out. In fact, they're even on their reference sheets, only they're covered up by their code names. It just was V's real name. I'm not sure. I'm debating on between Agatha or Fina. I keep going back and forth. And then for Go, his real name would be Hercules. Switch, her name would be Euphemia. Go's, Casimir's real name would be Dimitri. Lemon's real name is Lainey. And Leviathan and Viper's names would be Ezra and Ariel. And Masato, her name's Masato. Just flat out Masato. Anyway, back to the chat. Yeah, 7 dwarfs, 7 colors. Makes sense? Yep. Cough. Reddit. Cough. I do not know what that is referring to. I read it. Oh, was it probably about? It was probably about relating to the Chainsaw Man. Anyway, saw stuff. Can't wait for them to adapt the introduction of Quasi Sinks. I do not know what that is referring to. Hello, Diego. Good morning. Got any thoughts on Shinjiro? He reminds me of a guy who helped me steal a bike once. Shinjiro from Persona 3? Yeah, I like him. Anyway, Right Kitty says, good thing it's your own work on your... Oh, my head. I gotta get it together. My brain is not wizard tomorrow. Anyway, good thing it's your own work on your own time so you can just fit it around until you write the characters in. Yes, that is definitely good. The Snow White dress for Masato looks better than CGI remake one coming up next year. Yes, okay, time to roast. I don't like any of the live action remakes at all, so some people were saying, oh, like with the Little Mermaid one, people were saying, you would just like it. You would like it if they had a white girl playing it. You just don't like it because they got an African American to play her. And like, well, I'm not big on race changes with iconic characters. I'm not going to deny that. But that said, even if they cloned Jodie Benson, de-aged her, or just, I don't know why I said cloned. Even if they de-aged Jodie Benson, gave her the brightest of red hair, I still wouldn't like the live-action remake Little Mermaid because the story is just not good when you compare it to the original. I don't even like Cinderella. A lot of people love Cinderella. I do not like it at all. I don't... Oh, let me put my phone on vibrate. I do not like it. A lot of people do, and if you do, hey, cool, more power. But I did not like it. I'm gonna see it one more time though. I'll probably rent it just to make sure. I don't have a Disney Plus, so I have to rent everything from the library when I want to see it. But I'll probably give it a second chance just to make sure. That said, I will say that Cinderella is probably better in some areas just because it takes into a different area. The one that was actually my favorite was the Alice in Wonderland because that was more of a sequel, so I felt like it justified its existence. And plus, that was also before Disney started the trend. So the first live-action remake that Disney actually did was Jungle Book, and that was weird. They had a Chinese actor play Mowgli, which was weird. This is Christmas music. So that was weird. I actually saw that because my grandma owned it. And not too many people even remember that. And then later on in the early 2000s, there was the 101 Dalmatian remakes with Glenn Close. That was actually good. I don't really remember anything about it, though, outside of Glenn Close. She was a riot. And she was made for that role. And, like, I'd still go and watch the animated one, but there was some charm to it because Disney wasn't doing it. And then, of course, Alice in Wonderland came along, and it did bank. And like I said, I didn't mind it. I gotta re-see it. Maybe I wouldn't like it as much now. but I do remember when I was watching it, I did really like it, and I love Alice in Wonderland books, so I just love the and I love the Alice in Wonderland aesthetic, so I was just really happy about all the cool Alice in Wonderland stuff that I could get at Hot Topic. So that was fun. And then I don't know which one was next after that off the top of my head, but after that I was like, okay, so this is gonna be a thing that Disney's doing. And at least with Cinderella, they took it in a different direction. They didn't have it be a musical. They still had the mice in it for some reason. And they tried to give the characters actually legitimately more depth, and it wasn't just like at least a painful rehash. So I will give Cinderella that, and I can understand people liking it for that. A lot of people like the dress. I don't think the dress is bad, and I think it is pretty, but it's not my cup of tea. I like the original one better. And then it just started getting worse and worse, and I really don't like them. I think it, in fact, let me see if I can pull this up. Let's show this post on Twitter that I made. Here it is. Possum Review says, does anyone else find the notion of remaking the first feature-length traditionally animated movie in live action utterly profane and a grievous insult to the animation as an art form? And I said, yes, it is an insult to all the hard work and dedication that went into it. And it spits in the face of those who gave their lives to make animation be seen as a valid medium for genuine storytelling. And all cause a bunch of stuck-ups can't relate to different forms of art. And, yeah, so like I said, even if the live-action remakes were, great, I wouldn't watch them. Like, I know a lot of people really like the Netflix One Piece. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch it. First of all, I don't watch One Piece. Not because it's bad, it's just nothing that I was able to get into because of it being so intimidatingly long, but, so no diss to One Piece, but, if I am, I'm not gonna watch the Netflix one, because it's just like, I don't like live action stuff. If I want to see something, I'm gonna see the animation. Plus, I think animation just does better at telling stories like that, so, it's like, I got the shadow completely wrong. So it's just kind of like, I don't really want to see it. And plus the stories are never as good. The singing's never as good. Like, they try to change lyrics to make them more correct and such. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Especially because Howard Ashman did an amazing job with lyrics. And, you know, he's gone now. And so I find it a little disgusting to change it. I'm going to be honest. And yeah, Snow White's outfit is the worst out of all of them. Like, I didn't like Belle's. I didn't like Cinderella's. I did like Jasmine's. I know a lot of people are mixed on that. I actually do like Jasmine's clothing. I think the one reason why people didn't like it is because it's trying to say it's more historically accurate, and it's not, so I can understand that. But I do admit that it does look pretty, and it reminds me of, some Indian dresses that I saw, and me being adopted from India. I don't got a connection to that country at all, but I do like the clothing. It's really pretty, and then it just reminded me of that. So that's why I do like Jasmine's. But Snow White's has got to be the worst. Like, oh my goodness, I've seen people. I saw this one cosplayer, Nikki something. Her cosplay of, her dress of Snow White that she made, it was just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm like, and it looks like Party City. It looks like Party City. Anyway, back to the chat. Guten Morgen to all the people in chat. Yay, yeah, 3P. Okay, you were talking about Chindro. I will give my thoughts on him in a bit. Brad just says, morning. CMY is the inverted of BRY. It was first used in the printing industry. It's not the inverted. I mean, yes, it is, but it isn't, because the inverted of magenta is green. So RGB. The inverted of CMYK is RGB, not BRY. But whatever. Right, Kitty says, like, the last Dollhouse XC character I posted, I changed his name right before I was drawing him in the big, long piece with all the side characters, from Kuva Nelson to Kane Nelson. I gotta say, I'm not sure if I pronounced the Kuva part. I like Kane Vishen. That's a cool name. Referring to Tully Boss says, I remember that, it was totally fine. Right, Kitty says, I think the Cinderella remake was fine. It at least didn't piss me off like a lot of the ones that came after it. Yes, like I said, I would agree with that. I didn't like Cinderella remake, but I do agree it at least didn't make me angry like the other ones did. Or if it did, the anger would be totally pale into comparison, because it's like, I remember being upset about Cinderella 2015 when I was watching it, but that's only because I didn't see how bad it could get. Anyway, second Disney died. Yes, it did. I had to skip a lot of One Piece to get into One Piece. Don't forget, Disney keeps sabotaging their efforts in reviving the second animation so they can justify pumping out CGI films. Well, that's another thing, because, like, Snow White, they're saying, oh, it's going to be a live-action remix. Well, it's like, well, then you should have had real dwarves in it. Screw Peter Dinklage. Who cares what he says? You robbed real dwarves of, people with dwarfism jobs. They wanted it. And, talk about pulling the ladder up. And it's like, and it's just like, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. And it's like, all the animals are going to be CGI. And I understand somewhat. I feel like some of it could be, like, they don't want the animal rights groups to get in the way and stuff. And I definitely want animals to be taken care of and such, not be hurt. But at the same time, it's just, like, no real animals at all anymore. Come on. Come on. And you got so much CGI, and it's like, the only thing live action is Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler. Anyway, Totally Boss Detective says, a lot of stuff like this is why I'm so big into classical 2D cell painting. Yes, I agree. This is why it's frustrating, but that sweat and tears adds to the final product when working on it, if you ask me. I totally agree. Been working on something with cell painting recently, and it's great. Oh, so cool. That sounds cool. Yeah, I mean, like, when I go back and watch the original Neon Genesis Evangelion, it's just like, oh, this is amazing. They did this by hand. And, like, the movies, like, I know that was done digitally, too. But, like, it's still 2D animation, and it's just, like, oh, my goodness. Half of the reason why I actually like the Neon Genesis Rebuild movies is not because I'm a big fan of, oh, they got rid of the Neon Genesis. It's just Evangelion. Nora Vanguard, if you're there still, is it actually called Neon Genesis Evangelion You Shall Not, or do they just take off the Neon Genesis and just call it Evangelion now? I don't know. But anyway, movies. Half the reason why I like them so much is because of the animation and designs, and it's like, it blows me away. It's so creative. Anyway, be right back. Letting out my dogs just to hear them bark was not the point of them getting to be let out. Anyway, Riot Kitty says, probably why these things are so expensive. Everything gets CGI instead of practical sets, and Snow White is pretty easy to do practically aside from the castle and kingdom. I agree. I totally agree. Braxton says, they just call it Evangelion. Yeah, it's just Evangelion. They took off the Neon Genesis for the movie rebuilds. You shall not pass Shinji. Okay, anyway, to answer the question earlier, what do you think of Shinji? I like his character from Persona 3. I like his character a lot. And I like his design. In fact, one of my characters, Misato's partner, is based off of... where is it? Oh, duh. It's in my reference sheet. I got an entire folder just dedicated to... yeah, here it is. I'm not gonna open it up because I got too many things. He is based off of Shinjiro, and he's also based off of Matt from Death Note, who was a character that was in there for 5 seconds and everybody loved him. Including me. Matt should have lived. Maybe it's because he's got that Hot Topic vibe going on. I don't know. But I really do like his design. But yeah, I do think that is why they're so expensive, is because they're doing so much stuff in CGI, because I know practical effects are also expensive too, but when it comes to Snow White, I think you could do it. I mean, the Daily Wire, they're making a Snow White movie, and I don't think it's gonna have any CGI on it, and it's gonna be like made in 5 seconds. It's probably gonna be bad too, but at least it'll be more faithful to the Snow White story. At least I would hope. Although Brett Cooper, the actress who's playing it, she seems to still have her brown hair, which, see, some people are like, oh, you just don't like race change because you don't want to see that. No, I don't like any changes. Like, I found out when the lead actress from the Anastasia Broadway play had blonde hair. Like, yeah, that's actually accurate to history, according to Wikipedia. Anastasia did have blonde hair. I think it like started out more reddish, and then when she got older, it was brown. It was turning into blonde. But the fact is, she had red hair in the movie, and that's what the Broadway was adapting, was the movie. And it's not even a matter of if I like it, but I don't like blonde hair. I don't like blonde hair. I'm not into blondes, like, on men or women. But, even if it was, like, even if they turned into black hair, well, black hair maybe, because I absolutely adore black hair. It looks lovely on everybody, and it's absolutely beautiful. I stand black hair. But even if they turned on black hair, I would still be mad, because it's just like, that's not the color. It's not the right color. I just don't like any change, because if it's different from what the offer intended. Like, I don't like how they changed Sailor Uranus and Neptune's relationship, and I don't even like Sailor Moon. I don't like them, but it's like, that's not the offer's intent. Don't change the offer's intent. That's my point. That's why I get so, like, I think it's so funny because so many translators are like, why are we being replaced with AI? It's like, I don't like AI. I hate AI, but I want AI to take your guys' jobs because you guys are going against Oda's wishes and making Yamato a man, even though Oda himself says Yamato's a woman. Like, just do your jobs. That's all you had to do was do your jobs. One person took this clip from the TV show Ruby, where Watts is yelling at Cinder and saying that all you had to do was do your job. It's from volume 7, I think. And, yeah, that really is it. Like, when you get down to it, translator should be, invisible, thankless job. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't get praise, but you should be getting praise because you're not seen. Because you should be trying to make it as close to the original as possible while still making necessary translations. Like, I don't want a one-for-one translation because I know that won't work. There's just some things that we as Americans have no connotation to because of the culture difference. But so I understand there's got to be some things to change, but overall, like, just don't. Especially if it changes the original intent of the story. Anyway, I think I'm done with the skin. I'm gonna wait. In the words of Mark Crilly, you gotta add the blushies. Gonna go for like more muted pink. So if you want to add blush to someone, this is how you do it, folks. You go bing, bing, like it's a clown, and then you just, wait, wrong blur, Gaussian blur. And there you go. Instant blushification. Oh, anyway, back to chat. IIRC, they just call them their original name, the Shinji Seki Evangelion, the theatrically in Japan. There. The Romanovs were Russian. They were the last Russian, like, I don't know what you're referring to, but anyway, I really really wish they let you date guys as male protagonists, because I would dive bomb toward Shinjiro, so yeah. The Ace Razig is like, that's Razzie. Would have been great for Persona Reload if season pass at FemC roads, or take the answer last minute from season pass. Okay, people, hello Arc. Okay, so people are just basically talking about the FemC roads. I have a very different opinion about that than most people on the internet. Like, a lot of people were like saying, oh, it would have not taken that much to add FMC routes to Persona 3 Reload. I was like, I think it'd be a little bit more than you think, because I feel like people are forgetting that Persona 3 Persona 3 Portable was done in mostly visual novel style format. I mean, the boss fights were the fighting was in 2D, but it was also really cheaply PSP levels of 3D. So I think it would be a little bit more than people think, but as it'll be like adding in a secondary game to it. But I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I do wish that they did have FemC in there. Would have been great if all of them are actually 70% off now. So I mean, it wasn't first. It was really expensive, but I think it's cheap now. But let's look it up. Free. I just want the game. I don't want anything else. Yeah, it's not. It's not. The time is it's not 70% off, but it's 40% off, so it's more cheaper now. It's like $41. Should I actually buy that? I don't know. I actually thought they might change the ending and make a change to the protagonist's fate, just because of the little visor giving, but no, it's the same in the game, which. That's cool. It's the same in the original. They changed all the voice actors, which I'm not that big on. I like the original voice actors, but I mean, like, what? They're all 20 years older now, so I guess it makes sense. But they brought back all of them except for to play ever side characters, but they didn't bring back Mignata because reasons. Okay, anyway, back to chat. Would have been really weird cult of personality around her. She was never that important in the first place because she was advertised as a fun bonus. Not much else besides that. Yeah, I think it's just because now people always wanted. Right, Kitty says, oh, I understand it would take a bit, but I think it would have been better to use a season pass, not at the launch, but add it slowly. I do agree with that. Like I said, I definitely would have loved to have FMC Root, but I understand why they didn't. And as for the Atlas pricing, I do think it was pretty expensive. Also, every single game with a $70 price tag has not been worth the price. Reload included. Sue me. I remember feeling so bad because I don't buy video games like hardly at all. But when I do, I don't really like waiting. I just buy them. Like, some games I'll wait for, but like for Persona 3, I didn't wait, and I kind of felt bad because it's like, I guess I'm contributing to the game problem, but it's like, don't sue me, folks. I don't buy video games. Like, I only have a couple. Which, had I waited, I actually could have gotten, like, Persona 5 right now at Target, at least, is only $17. I'm like, what the heck? I paid $60 for mine. It was a re-release on the Switch, although I did pay for that Steelbook version. So that's one reason why mine is expensive. I think if I didn't get the Steelbook, I think it would have been like $50 or $40, and it was just right when it came out released. So that is the best thing to do when you're buying a video game, is to wait, and the price will drop eventually. But usually I don't like waiting because I don't play that many video games, and I just like, when there is something that I like, I just want to play it now. So it's like, I kind of felt a little guilty because it's like, I don't buy video games that often. I haven't even finished Persona 3 Reload. I haven't even finished Persona 3 Portable. I got them both, and I haven't finished them. And I feel bad about that. Sort of. Not really. I am playing Persona 5 for the second time. So I'm on my second playthrough of Persona 5, and I actually got up to Sai's Palace, and then I ended up redoing it. So now I'm going back around. So when I bought Persona 5, I ended up playing it, and I got to about Kamoshida's fight, halfway through Kamoshida's palace, and then I started playing with my brother, and then he was too busy because of his job, so because of that, I started going for and playing it by myself. I used a walkthrough to help me, and then by the time I got to that, I didn't actually finish until about, I actually owned Persona 3 5 a year later, and fun fact is, I actually finished it right when the game ends. So the game for Royal ends in like about, well, the story part where you actually are playing along, not the game. The game ends in spring, but the story part, the last battle happens in February, and I finished it right around then, and it was like kind of magical. And then when I started Persona 3 up for my secondary playthrough, it was right around April, which is when the game starts. And I think I also did that for the first time when I was playing it with the walkthrough help. I'd started right around April, so that was fun. But like I said, I ended up actually redoing it because I wanted to finish. Since this is my second game for second playthrough, I carried over all my social links, so I wanted to try to, not social links. I carried over all my social stats, so like my courage and stuff like that. Also carried over my personas, and I'm like, okay, I want to get all max social link before I get to Sai's Palace. Well, not totally max. I at least want to finish most of them up. But I ended up failing, so now I'm gonna go about it again. Anyway, hello there, B52. Howdy, hail all. So, little sheep, how have my brain. So, little sheep, how long you aiming to go today? Well, let's see. How long have we been streaming? We've been streaming an hour, so probably probably maybe another hour, maybe. I usually stream for about 2 to 3 hours. I'm not one of those people who streams like extremely long time, but I do like to make it worth it, especially because we got a full crowd today. We're in the double digits, folks. Yay, we got 13 watchers. It's so fun. Yay. I'm always so pleased when people actually want to watch my content. It makes me so happy. Like, every time I get a view on YouTube, it's like, yay. Well, maybe not every time I get a view, but every time I get a comment, I jump for joy. I actually got one of my first negative comments on one of my Wish review, which is cool. You're free to leave a negative comment if you want. I mean, no harassment, but if you don't like something, that's cool. But the comment was saying, great, a never person who can't find anything to like but anime, and was referring to my Wish review. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? I mentioned a lot of things outside of anime. I mentioned old Disney films. I mentioned old DreamWorks films. I mentioned some newer DreamWorks film. I mentioned Into the Spider-Verse series. I mentioned Song of the Sea. I forget what studio is behind that. And I know the director is the same one as Secret Kells and stuff like that. Those very good movies. I mentioned a lot of things that weren't anime. And I think the funniest thing is that people are like, oh, you just like anime, you're anime obsessed. It's like, yes, I do like anime. I really like anime. I'm not gonna lie about that. But at the same time, it's like, if you actually take my top animated films of all time, just animated, but include anime and Western animation, anime is not even like in the top 20, probably. Like, maybe my favorite anime movies are Padma Inverted and Makia, When the Promised Flower Blooms. I think that one's free on YouTube, so if you guys haven't seen that, you should watch it. It's totally good. It's a mommy and me anime. It's all about motherhood, so it makes me cry, and it's beautiful, and I love it. Very good anime, and that's definitely the one that I like the most, and it's like, it comes nowhere near close to my love for Anastasia, Little Mermaid, Dumbo, Sleeping Beauty. Like, Sleeping Beauty is a work of art. I love it. Did I say Winnie the Pooh? I don't know. I forgot what I said and what I didn't say. But, it doesn't come close to those. Like, at all. And, like, if you counted Pixar in there, like, then they would be like, which isn't 2D animated, but I mean, Incredibles is a masterpiece. I love Bugs Life. Like, my two favorite Pixar movies would be Bugs Life and Incredibles. It used to be just flat out Bugs Life, which is something my brother always forgot. But now, as I'm older and I love superheroes, I really gotta say I love Incredibles. It's so good. So good. But yeah, I love anime, but anime doesn't even come close when it comes to my favorite movies of all time. Like, one thing I really love is old Disney. And I love classic Hollywood films from the Golden Age. That's what me and my mom are watching, because we got tired of watching Castle every single night. So now we're going through the Golden Age of Hollywood and watching some of our favorite movies, like Vincent Price, Cary Grant, Bette Davis. I know them all. You could quiz me. Like, maybe not when it gets to the life details of them. I don't know all that stuff. But, like, I know a lot of old actors. Katharine Hepburn. Robert Mitchum. Ava Gardner. Marilyn Monroe. Of course, everybody knows her. Betty Grable. Humphrey Bogart. Gary Cooper. Like, yep. I know a lot, and I really, really do enjoy all the Golden Age Hollywood movies. Anyway, Totally Based Detective Boss, Totally Boss Detective, replying to Rasgrid, and also people have the strange distaste towards P3's male MC and always think she's the better option. I think that they're just different, and that's what I actually like about them. Like, I actually do like Makoto Yuki, referring to his name. I actually like him a lot. For one thing, I think he's cute, but another thing is, I like his, I like how, both, Kotone, the femc, and, Makoto are two different, ways that people respond. Both their characters are based off of two different ways that people typically will respond to depression. So Kotone's more of the on the chin kind of person, like, from what I've heard and what I've seen. She's just kind of like, yeah, so it is, and then she kind of moves on. It kind of reminds me of the way my, she's the person who tries to stay upbeat and positive and such, and keep herself busy, whereas Makoto's more of the type of person who's like, on the verge of peefering himself, so to speak, because he just kind of lets it overtake him. And I do actually like that. I think that's actually very interesting. So when I'm coloring black hair, it's actually kind of always the debate on what I'm going to do with it, because sometimes I just want to make it solid black, and then sometimes I'll add a little bit more color to it. Let me show you what I'm referring to. So this is a picture that I made for my 200 tube speed paint. And as you can see, I put some color into it. This is my original character, Kyla Licidian. Very lovely. I am very proud of her. And it was actually a redraw of this. And if I ever make it to 300, I might redraw it again. But I think you can definitely see some improvement in that, folks. So that's cool. And hopefully you'll be able to see more improvement if I ever draw it again. Right, Kitty says, "You're okay, Merisu. It's Atlas' fault." Yes, it is. Well, it's not just Atlas. I mean, it's all the companies. But if we're going to blame, like, one singular person on it, then I blame, what is that one? Oh, what is his name? I mean, their name. It's a YouTube group. Let me look it up. This is too, I gotta know, why, gaming makes you into extra credits. Yeah, that's them. Stop normalizing Yahtzees. If I'm gonna blame one person for the gaming industry group, like, and not a company, it's their fault. they're the ones to blame. They were saying gaming's actually cheaper than it ever has been. It's like, no, it's not. It's like, if you're actually looking at it, gaming should be more expensive. It's like, shut up. It's your fault. Like, it probably isn't, but I'm choosing to blame them because they are the ones who brought it up into the conversation. Like, I think they used to be good YouTubers until their brain broke. And then they were like, stop normalizing Yahtzees. Suddenly, you're playing your World War II PvP there. And suddenly, you're fighting on the side of the Yahtzees. You didn't ask for this. You didn't want this, and somehow, you're there. It's like, what do you mean I didn't ask for it? I asked for it when I bought the game. Isn't that what people expect? And then they were like saying, all games should be simulators and training exercises and showing you the real dangers of war and terrorism. It's like, oh my goodness. It's like I've known out-of-touch Baptist preachers who had better takes than them. You know, the type of people who are like, oh, all video games are Satanism and stuff like that and such. Like, I've heard them have better takes than extra credits. And it's like, at least was like extra credits, was like, you know, the Baptist preachers and stuff like that, or anybody like it's like, it's their, you know, their religion, and, you know, I'm Christian, so I understand where they're coming from, and it's like, you know, of serving God and such like that, but it's like, with them, it's like, oh my goodness, what's your reasoning? Ba-dum. 1 second, I'll be right back. Had to close the doors because my dad came down with his radio. So, it's a little loud. So, I think for Masato's hair, I always draw it with like a slight, as you can see, it's a slight violet, slight indigo tint to it. Well, maybe not indigo, probably more violet. One reason why is because I think the black really goes good with her color scheme, but I never wanted it solid black. So I always made it like this indigo violet color. And of course, one of the reasons why is because I think Kyoko Jiro from My Hero Academia was in my head when I was making her. And the funniest thing about her is that she doesn't actually have black hair. Like, I actually didn't know that because I thought it was kind of black, and it was just like sometimes characters will have black and I'm just like, that isn't black, it's like brown. That's not black, it's blue, it's green. Like, they do a different color because they don't want to do just solid black. And I'm just like, it was actually my biggest pet peeve that so many characters had that, so I thought Kyoko Jiro was just another case of that. Although, I don't know why I did, considering the fact that, in My Hero Academia, they do actually make black hair, like, actually black. They don't give it, like, a tint to it. Like, I remember, Mace Hughes from Fullmetal Alchemist, the original one, not Brotherhood. His hair was black, but it had a strong green tint to it. And then, this one character from this one anime was Dante something. Her hair was black, and it was purple. And then, Alice from Pandora Hearts, her, hair, it says in the description, black, and on the manga. Like, when you're reading the manga, I'm like, bitch! What the flying flip? That's not black, it's brown! Are you colorblind? Make it black! I don't know, maybe it was a mistranslation. But yes, black hair is definitely my favorite. And as for Snow White, like I said, I think I've said this a gazillion times, but in terms of Disney movies, my favorite is, The Little Mermaid and then Sleeping Beauty. But in terms of the fairy tales, my first favorite is still The Little Mermaid. But I think my second favorite is actually Snow White. I really do like her story. There's some details that are hard to pick up. Like, one thing is, like, it mentions that she's 7, and it doesn't mention anything past that, but it's like, you're kind of like, is she still 7? But it's like, no, she's not. Time passed. And, like, some people are like, oh, Prince, he wasn't wanted to, be, like, it was like, he wanted to do necrophilia on her. It's like, no, he didn't. He just saw the name on the casket and he wanted to, take her back. I mean, it was dark. Don't get me wrong. It was dark, but it wasn't, like, that much. Sleeping Beauty, that was, because that story is a little different, because Grimm's just made a version of that. So with Snow White, it was made by the brothers Grimm's, if I remember. But, Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella, there are different versions of that, because those stories are so old, it's like we can't even track it. And then, like, with Beauty and the Beast, there was the French. It was made by a woman in France, the same way Hans Christian Andersen made The Little Mermaid, but there was, like, ideas of the story that were from different cultures and such, that come from all over the place. And with, like I said, with Cinderella, like, her story dates back, like, I think there's versions of it from, like, Egypt and, China. So, Cinderella's definitely an old story. But the one that's the most famous is the French version, because that was the version that was used in the Disney version, because pumpkin carriages and stuff. One of my favorite versions of Cinderella is actually Ever After. I really do like that version. But I do have to admit, as I've aged, I really do like the adult version. I mean, adult. Disney. I really like the Disney version. Which, technically, in my opinion, adults can still enjoy the Disney version. Anytime people are saying, the animation versions are for kids, that's why we're making these live-action remakes. I'm like, well, congratulations. Wait, this is more Christmas music. Whatever, I'm gonna keep this one on because it's nice. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Technically, I mean, if you're gonna be accurate, Joy to the World is not a Christmas song, folks. It's a hymn. It was just turned into a Christmas song because, you know. Let's see, how long have I been going? I've been going for, yeah, I'm probably gonna go for about 40-ish more minutes, which means I ain't gonna even come close to finishing this off. But that said, I do think I am done with the hair. The things that I definitely take pride on when it comes to my drawing capabilities, it would be hair. I think I'm pretty good at that. I think I'm pretty good at certain kinds of clothing. Like, especially when it comes to, like, frills and ruffles and such. And I think I'm pretty good at eyes. I actually was going to draw Masato in the style of Young Justice, but I actually couldn't manage it. So, I actually can manage realistic style, like actual realism, more better than I can cartoon style. I don't know why, for some reason it's very hard for me to mimic cartoon style because I've just gotten too much in the habit of drawing anime. So it's like, well, I can't draw this. It's like, it's just so, it's totally different. I think it's just because of the way that I ended up learning. Because, like, I'll use Dollmaker for references, and sometimes I'll use, bases and such, so because of that, I think it's just so different. Anyway, I hope everybody in chat is doing lovely. I know that I've been doing okay. Been very busy, though. But I won't discuss why because I want to keep this stream on a happier subject. But in short, it's just been clearing out my grandmother's house after her passing. So it's very, very occupied with that. But like I said, I ain't gonna digress on that. Let's keep things happy. I might work on Revolution Full Color a little bit sooner. I got 2 speed paints that I'm working on, so it might be sooner than October, but I don't know. Okay, time for the corset. The only thing I actually didn't put on her is I put a hair ribbon on her, but I didn't put any hair comb on her, and I wish I did that. I did that actually with my ever drawing. This one, you can see in the sketch, let me get rid of the coffin. You can see a hair comb there and her corset. Those are both a reference to obviously the corset and the hair comb, which are the 2 ever ways that the evil queen tried to offer, but the apple's the one that's mentioned remembered the most because of Disney. I want to rewatch, all the Disney princess films. There we go. Ah. No, that ain't right. I'm trying to think of anything else to talk about, but I'm running out of ideas because my brain is left the building. Wait, where'd the brush go? I just had it. Okay. There we go. Looks like some people have already wrapped it up, so I'm not sure if I'll go much longer. I think I'll probably color the corset, and then I'll be done. Hopefully I didn't scare anybody away with my laugh. While I was laughing at extra credits. That would just be sad. I just can't. You know what? We're gonna go. I was gonna cheat, but we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way, folks. Sometimes you just gotta do things by hand. I actually based Snow White's dress, well, Masato Snow White dress off of several different things. The Disney version, naturally. This one illustration that I found by this one artist. I don't know their name though. Twitter handle, whatever you want to say. So I can't say which one it is. And then one of the biggest inspirations though, which is why it's got the fuzzy color, is the Vocaloid song Genealogy of Red to Black to White. Or is it Red to White to Black? Yeah, that's it. It's made by my favorite Vocaloid producers, Hitoshi Yama. Art by Suzunosuke. And they drew Rin as it had Rin, Kagumine, Len Kagumine, and Lily. And the art on that was gorgeous. The only thing I didn't like is that they gave, despite Rin playing Snow White, they still kept her blonde hair. And I'm like, why? Why? She should have black, and it would look so pretty with black. So that was actually one of the main inspirations. I wasn't sure if I would be able to do the white collar since I have this collar. So I was like, I'm not sure if it was overdone, but I'm like, I don't care. I like it. Oh, Shine on Harvest Moon. I actually know this song. Shine on, I ended up watching this one video, and it was just all about some drama that happened in the cosplay community. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm watching this. I don't cosplay, nor do I plan on cosplaying, nor do I know anything about how cosplay contests work, but I'm watching it. It was an interesting video. Anybody still here? I keep looking over to chat, that's why, and I'm like, I'm not seeing anybody. So I'm just wondering if everyone left. Because if they did and I'm still going in and talking to myself, that would be, it would be like pretty, weird. But whatever, I said I would finish the corset. And by George, that is what we're going to do. This YouTube audio music isn't actually that bad. Like, I know a lot of people are actually, I know a lot of people, don't like it or don't use it, but I'm like, I actually think this is pretty good. Sometime I probably should try gaming. Like, not an everyday thing because I am an art channel, but sometime maybe I should game instead. That was actually the first stream that I actually tried out. I tried out playing Stray, but I didn't no one was really around. There we go. Pretty much done with the corset. Gonna do the gloves and then yeah, I might cut it a little bit shorter today. Oh. Oh my. Oh. Fiddlesticks. I thought everyone was gone, but no, my chat froze. That's what happened. That's what happened. Oh. My chat stopped going down. So I was just seeing the same comment and it was like, ah. Oh man. I'm not made for YouTube, folks. I'm not made for YouTube. Okay, let's get caught up. Okay. Let's see, where did I stop? I stopped at... Okay, Nora telling me that it's extra credits that I'm referring to. Because if you draw us out correctly, we'll be able to summon super special demons, stuff like that. You didn't want this, you didn't ask for this, but now you... I agree, we should never normalize Yahtzee's Chensaw's pretentious gaming review. I came at the perfect time to come back. Reminds me of when a Vice reporter had made a story of reenactment group. He kept calling them Yahtzees, which started annoying everyone. In my opinion, yeah, it's not enough NASCO and gaming. Okay, gaming is cheaper when it was in the 80s and 90s because of inflation, but new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom should not be $70. It should be 60 at most, probably $50. My mom and stepdad are currently rewatching Castle for like the 4th time. Really loved it. Yeah, me and my mom, we love Castle. We watched it every night. Oh man. Man, I cannot believe that I missed all these chats. Oh. Gaming the way that they're shipped now should cost more than no more than 40. Yeah, I don't know much about gaming, so I don't know the set price that a game should be, but it should be it probably shouldn't be 70. Definitely not. Well, at least some of them. Anyway, I understand the need to make money, but gaming is a luxury, not necessary. That's the thing. Gaming is a luxury that people use with disposable income, and we don't got that. Marisu and her mother watch Castle every night. Castle, classic bluish highlights for black. Maybe it was just an exaggeration. Fun. Thoughts on the theory that tarot originated from China and not Egypt? It could be true since the brothers that popularized it made the origins of Celtic people. Well, I need to get back to work. Gonna listen to some Esloth Fury videos. Ciao, Nora. A lot of archaeological evidence also adds to theories. I don't know much about tarot, so I can't answer that. Totally Boss Detective. Interesting. I didn't realize that Shadowverse Flames released, so I gotta catch up with that. Mirror Mirror looks like it will continue to be the best Snow White live action. I haven't watched that. I was going to watch it. I haven't watched it. I need to watch it. I wasn't sure how it was me. I'm mad at that though because it looks like she has brown hair in that. I'm actually going to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. That's for Yu-Gi-Oh statue tonight. Probably gonna stay up late. A little nervous because I never played this version of deck. Oh, that's totally cool. Don't remember that. Reiki says I'm here. Yes, because, okay. Trying to catch up with the chat. Still here, just multitasking. Totally. Damn, so it was just Joey. Yep, Joey was the first regular, and I don't know what they're talking about. I'm trying to just catch up. Which game would you play on stream? I do be back. How are we faring? I can't understand YouTube. That's how we're faring. I'm at a lake attending a jet boat rally, so I gotta go. But take care. Bye, Ark. You're already long gone. I know you are. Local Sheep built too different for YouTube. Oh no. Well, Little Sheep, it's been fun stream. Hope to see you more. Yep, $40 frequent. Yep. I have a totally Bayless detective. I have a lot of occult knowledge bouncing around in my head, and that's one thought. Just shout it out. Cool. Okay, I've caught up with chat. I've caught up with the chat. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. I think it was just because I was there, so the only thing I was seeing was one continuous. So let's finish these gloves up. We're back, folks. I think we're back. thought I scared everyone away because it's like, I'm not seeing the chat. I'm not seeing it. Did everyone leave? Was it because I made fun of extra credits? Are there any extra credit stands in the audience? Gotta take a shower and get ready for work. See you later if you're still alive. Ciao! Thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll still be live. I might. Da-dum. It's like, it would be really weird, like, if I did have people who were fans of extra credits who watched my videos. I mean, they're welcome. They're welcome. But it's just kind of weird for me to think of. Mainly because I didn't think he had any fans. Stop normalizing Yahtzees. That is never not going to be funny for me. Okay. I'm trying to figure out on how I'm going to do the shading because it's like, I'm not sure if I want to do like, I'm not sure if I want to do, like more depth shading where I have like colors, or more of a simplistic kind of cell shading. I think for this, I'm just going to do a simplistic shell shading. Derek B52 says, I'm not a fan of extra credits. They also argued against race and fanning setting as well, not making fantasy races different. Yeah, that was a weird video too. Like, I don't watch them. I just know about those two videos, about their racism video and their stop normalizing Yahtzees. It was an interesting. It was an interesting take. I'm not gonna lie. And by interesting, it was kind of retarded. There we go. Add a little bit of color to it. So it's like, I do like several different types of shading. It's like, sometimes I have like here, I can just show examples. Like, sometimes I'll do like really in-depth shading where I'll add like a whole bunch of like colors, and then sometimes I'll just do things that are a lot more simple. Or I think this is a very old drawing, but it's a lot more better example. So like I have like, you know, like some gradients and a lot of shine and stuff. I'm actually still kind of proud of how I colored this drawing. Pose definitely could be better. Background is, well, kind of crap, but the coloring I'm actually still very proud of for this drawing. Like, I really do like how I did the coloring for this. Yeah, this is one way that I do shading where it's more in depth, and then other times I do like more simplistic kind of cell shading. And the problem is when I do the cell shading more simplistic is sometimes I'll always end up going a little too far, and I'll be doing it a lot more in details than I'm supposed to, than I originally intended. So that's one thing. Like, shell shading wouldn't really have like blushies, I don't think. So that is definitely one. It's definitely a choice. I'm gonna look up white in color. I made this color palette myself. It was based off of Ever. And by, I mean, I made it myself. I mean, I based it off of Ever People's color palettes, and I borrowed them. Yeah. Got the selection source on a different layer. There we go. Now I can see what is what. And I'm going to use a different... Nah, that's too green. Too gray. Let's just go back to the yellowish. I know I said I was just going to do the gloves and the corset, but it's like the white will only take a second. And I'm not sure if I do end up doing live streaming again, it will be at the end of the month. And if it is, I don't think it will be this. You might be wondering, what's at the end of the month? Well, that would be the 9 years that I have been on this darn platform. Yes, I've been on YouTube for 9 years. I can't believe it's been that long. Next year will be my 10th anniversary. And I think I might do something similar to what I did with my 8th anniversary, where I drew all my characters together. I really did like that. That was really fun doing that. Totally Bots Detective says, I always like talking about color palettes. Me too. I do too. Color palettes are life. I got so many color palettes. Like this one I downloaded. This one I downloaded. These are ones that really handy. I don't use them though. This one I made for my character. So I made character color palettes so that way I would have them on her. So these are all my OC color palettes, and then this is one that I just put that it's all of them. My characters from Revolution Full Color. This is one that I did for mangaing, and then this is one I downloaded, and then I made that one myself, just like different metals and stuff. Color palette for when I'm doing mallets, and I did I do that one myself? I don't know. I think so. I want to say yeah, I think I did that one myself. But, and I did this one myself. And, Derek B52 says, whoa, 9 years, a cat lives died. Lives and died. Yes, 9 years. 9 years. And, like, I'm not a veteran. Like, I haven't been on here for 15 years. I haven't been on here 10 years. Some people I know have been on here, like, since the very beginning, like, almost 19 years. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Which, YouTube is 19 years. Which means they've been in here since the beginning. Which, that's cool if you have. But no, I've been here going on 9 years. Actually, it would probably be a little bit longer because actually, for those who don't know, I started different channels called Rio Kamishiro Me Lukai La. Because that's what I thought I should name my channel. And, oh my goodness, that stupid name. Then I used it for singing. It was bad. It was a crime against humanity. I got some negative comments on it, and it kind of made me sad. But now I'm just like, I deserve so much worse. My singing was a war crime. And then I started doing some drawing because I wanted to be like Mark Curley. And then I decided if I'm going to be doing drawing a lot, I'll do 2 channels. So I made this one, Sidekick, but it was called Sidekick Ichigo Kamishiro Arclight. Well, it's just called Sidekick Ichigo Kamishiro at the time. named after Saika Miki, Ichigo from Tokyo Mew Mew, and Kamishiro from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, Roga Kamishiro. And then later on, I added the Arclight to it because I really did like the Arclight Brothers, also from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, a lot. And that is how I got my YouTube name. But then, a while back ago, not that long ago, I think it was in 2020, I think, I changed my name to Merisu the Art Sheep because I didn't want my name attached to any animes anymore. Not that I didn't like, because I didn't really watch Madoka Magica anymore. I still like occasionally watch it, but I don't really like it as much as I did. And for Tokyo Mew Mew, I do like that, but I haven't watched in years. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, I was just like, I mean, I like it, but I just didn't want it attached to anything anymore. So I came up with Merisu the Art Sheep. And actually, when I first started my channel, I was doing traditional art. I first called them how to draw videos, and then I changed them to speed drawing because I realized I wasn't actually teaching anybody anything. One person brought that to my attention. I'm like, yeah, that probably is better. I actually deleted a lot of my speed drawings on here. One, because I wasn't doing that anymore, but two, because they were all bad, and some of them had copyrighted music on it, so I took them off before YouTube could. But then later on, I started getting into digital art, and once I learned how to do that, I'm like, well, this is actually going pretty good, and it's cheaper because I don't need to buy art equipment for it. I just need to buy the art software, and then I'm done. So I'm like, well, I guess this is what we're going to be doing. And I kind of felt bad when I transitioned because I know some people subscribe to me for the traditional art. But in the end, I transitioned fairly nicely into a digital artist. And now this is all I do. I don't do singing. I don't do traditional art. I mean, like, the last time I did traditional art wasn't actually that long ago because I ended up doing something special, but it ended up not working out. It was that drawing that I made of my superhero OC. And that was an interesting endeavor. Speaking of endeavor, the new episode of Boku no Hero Academia is coming out. I'm not very happy with how the manga is going. Like, I feel like the ending could have used some work. Like, this one YouTuber, oh, I forget their name. His name. He does great dissections of what's wrong with he does great dissections of what's wrong with Boku no Hero Academia and where it could be fixed. And I have to agree, some parts are not... It's not Horikoshi's best writing. But that said, I still am going to watch it all the way through. And I actually got sad when... they weren't airing it the last week because... Well, not so much sad. Maybe that's a bad... Alright, kitty, welcome back. I'm clean now. I subscribed for a funny sheep. Trick says, I will probably go back to more traditional art once I get my own place. I have big pads of paper that need to be filled. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I do love traditional art. I haven't been doing any painting. I still do painting. I don't do anything anime-wise, but I do painting, but I haven't done it in a while because I've been taking care of my grandmother and such, and our house is kind of in the process of being clean because of that, so I haven't been doing any traditional art for quite a while, and that's a little sad. I feel like I'm kind of wasting my talent. I will, for a future thing, do you accept the commissions? Yes, I do. I'm a little weary of sometimes who I accept them from, but if I know them, I mainly because I ended up getting, I had a stupid phase, and I ended up getting scammed out of some money. Don't ask me how. You can probably guess, but one person was posing as someone who wanted a commission, and in the end it was me being scammed because I ended up being stupid, and now I'm not accepting any commissions from people from China or India. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it just seems like a lot of the people that I've met from, like, the worst thing about it is because I ran into ever people who were the exact same as that person, and I knew right away that they were scammers. But that time I wasn't in the best headspace. I was a little bit stressed out because I lost my tablet pen, and that's why I had to buy a new tablet. And so that is why I was actually accepting a commission. And because I wasn't in the best headspace and I thought I already took some precautions, I was like, whatever. And then when I knew it, I ended up getting scammed. And I ended up getting scammed out of a lot of money. I think I... Have I tried animating? Lime Drake, please remember this for another 5 months. Yes, I will. I will gladly accept your commission. And like I said, honestly, if I'm being honest, I wish I could do commissions. And I still do commissions. But I wish I could do them a little bit more. But because of that scamming situation, even though it was my fault, I don't exactly always feel safe when doing it. Last person I actually who commissioned me was Riot Kitty, who's in the chat. And that was a lot of fun. Another reason why I actually also was commissioned is I'm always nervous when drawing other people's stuff. Because it's like, I'm afraid of, like, what if I get it wrong? And it's really weird putting a price on my art, I'm not gonna lie. It's really weird. But apparently people have paid for my art, and and by doing so, it's like, oh wow, you actually like my art enough to pay for it. And it's just like, oh my goodness. Have you ever, Leah says, have you ever tried animating? No, I have not tried animating. I want to. ClipstudioPaint actually has features on it that allow you to animate, and they actually updated it because I got the latest version of ClipstudioPaint. I've got ClipstudioPaint version free, and they do allow you to animate, but I haven't learned anything from it yet. So, but I do want to. One of my dreams to learn animate was actually be, a PV of what I was referring to. So, like I said back at the beginning of the stream, when I started out, I said that, I need some water. I thought of the plot from my series Revolution Full Color, which is who this is from. I thought of that, through an animated music video when listening to, Lindsey Sterling's, Underground, which is an amazing song, and I would love to make an animation to that song. I'm not sure if I'd be able to put it on YouTube, though. It'd probably get struck down by copyright. But that would be so cool. And one of these days I will. One of these days, if God wills, I will do that. Because that sounds absolutely incredible. Like, if I could do that, it would just be fun. The only problem is with me using the YouTube audio is some of these songs are the Creative Commons, which means you gotta link back to them if you want to use them, and I don't know which ones work since it's just playing. So it's like, I'm probably gonna have to figure that out. I don't know. I've seen some people who animate their comic panels. Sometimes I wonder if you should do that. If I should do that for a Doll XC trailer. Oh, that would look so cool. I mean, if you can, I would watch that. I would watch that indeed. That sounds absolutely cool. I should probably do that for Revolution Full Color, but I haven't. One thing about classical music is it's always impressive how long it stood this test of time. And how many pieces, like, certain parts of it are used in ever songs. Like, really is impressive. I've never seen any of those films, so I do not know if I like them or not. Um, okay. Better add a little bit of. I think I went overboard, folks. I think I need to redo this. So we're just gonna. I think I went overboard with the dark colors. No, wait. So this one will be that. This one will be that. This one will be that. And then this one. Okay. I need to figure out what lace and what frill goes to what which part, because I remember actually when I was drawing this I was getting it all mixed up in my head. I'm like, okay, what's what? What belongs to what? I don't know. Thoughts on Moscato wine? I do not drink. Can't drink because of health issues. If you're talking about an actual wine, like if you're not talking about wine, like an actual wine, then I don't know what that is. But if you're talking about an actual wine, then I don't drink. Because of health reasons. But even if I could, I probably wouldn't. My grandmother always said, if you never drink, you never have to worry about becoming an alcoholic. And I, I think that's actually good. I mean, if I don't judge other people who do, as long as you're not going too far and you know your limits. But that said, me personally, I don't. But even if I could, I got health problems, so I can't. Have you ever heard of the Hills of Manchuria Waltz? Really good song. Yes, I've not listened to it recently, but I have heard of it. And I think I've listened to it. Wait, is that the one I think of? I don't know. I actually don't know. I think I did. I listen to so much music. It's like, and I listen to such a wide variety. Like, my dad's always impressed of how much kinds of music. It's not that impressive. Like, there are a lot of other people who listen to even more wide variety, but I think I do listen to probably a little bit more wide variety than the average person, just because I listen to a lot of anime music. I listen to a lot of music from the 1920s, 30s, 40s. I listen to classical Disney music. I listen to children's music. I listen to jazz. I listen to video game music. I listen to, like, there's no genre of music that I hate. There are only songs that I hate. And one of them is Scuttlebutt from the Abomination live action remake that is Little Mermaid. You a fan of power metal symphonics? Like I said, I wouldn't consider myself a fan of any genre, but I wouldn't consider myself a hater of any genre. because I just like good songs. So yes, there are metal songs that I do listen to. One of them is by Battling. Let me see. Circus of Doom, Battle Beast. I listen to Armageddon, and I want to get a few more songs from that. I'm not sure what genre you would call that. I also listen to some Avantasia because my brother got me into that. He's more of the fan, but I do like some of their songs, I admit. And I listen for metal songs. I don't listen to any metal bands, but I do listen to The World's Ends Was You Neo soundtrack, and that has some metal ones on there, and I listen to those. Those are pretty good. Like, I love World's Ends Was You Neo soundtrack. I got the entire thing. My favorite video game soundtracks would probably be Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, World's Ends Was You Neo, and Persona 5. And from what I heard of it, I do like Nier soundtrack too. But I haven't listened to all of that. I haven't played Nier. I want to probably get Nier for Nintendo Switch, because Nintendo Switch is my favorite console. I heard they're coming out with a Switch 2. I don't know how that's gonna be. I'm not sure if I'll get it. I'm not a gamer. I don't really do much of anything in terms of gaming. The only reason why I actually even bought a Switch is because I wanted to play some Ottoman games. That's actually the only reason why I ended up buying a PSP. I ended up buying one used because I wanted to play Dream Drop Birth by Sleep, and at the time it wasn't on PlayStation 4. Well, PlayStation 4 wasn't actually even out. Yeah, PlayStation 4 wasn't out yet, and it wasn't on computer or anything, and I really wanted to play it. So, because of that, I ended up buying a used PlayStation just to play it. And those were the times when I played Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance were probably some of my most favorite times in video games. I also have some really nice times when I was playing Persona 5. I love portable consoles the most, probably just because I love the idea of just playing a video game while you're laying down on a couch. I love the idea of just being able to take since you like classical, I highly suggest listening to Blind Children of Smith. Lots of French horns in that one. Cool, I will definitely give that a check out. I mostly listen, Totally Boss Texas. I mostly listen to jazz and classical rock, a little bit of ska too, and maybe 80s metal, if I'm in the mood for it. Huh, ironic, we're talking about female MC in Persona 3, and apparently fans made an entire animated opening featuring her in the cutscene. That's impressive. Oh, I'll have to check that out. That sounds really cool. And then I listen to mainly historical military songs and marches. Oh, that's cool. I listen to, like I said, no bad music, folks. No bad bands, no bad genres, just bad, songs. Well, okay, I take it back. Maybe there's probably bad artists. Like, I'm one of those people. I don't know. I know I'm not alone in this. I don't see the appeal in Aquafina's singing voice like at all. I don't mean to diss it, but Scuttlebutt was a war crime. It should have not happened. And the fact that it did happen was like proof of nepotism, in my opinion. That's the only way I could see that coming to pass. Like, it was the 20th layer of hell. Dante had to add, like, 10 more because putting her at just number 10 would have not been good enough. Well, putting Scuttlebutt. Because, that the synth song's kind of playing. I love, some of Daft Punk's songs. I love the Tron Legacy album, if anyone hasn't heard that and they kind of like that stuff. The synth stuff, totally check out Daft Punk. I'm not sure if synth's the right word, but I love that soundtrack. It sounds amazing. I don't like rock, I like rock, not so much metal, mainly really heavy metal I don't like. Yeah, I'm not really that big of a fan. Like I said, I'm not a fan of any of this stuff, but there are a few songs that maybe would be considered heavy metal that I do listen to, and I do like. But I'm definitely not, like, a fan of it. Out of all the genres, that would probably be the one that I would be considered the least fan of, just because a lot of them, like, they have a lot more profanity in them or something like that, or harsh topics and that stuff. It just isn't my cup of tea. That's also why I don't listen to, like I do like some rap, but that's also why I don't listen to it. Like, I ain't gonna listen to, like, the real popular kinds of rap. It's just not my style. Yeah, so I want Sony to make a PS Vita too. I like Switch, but I always have to treat it so delicately. Oh, really? My Switch is pretty durable. Oh, never mind. I have a Switch Lite. I don't have a Switch. I don't have a Nintendo Switch. I have a Switch Lite. I forgot to totally preference that, because for me, yes, Tron was peak. For me, that's just what I got. I didn't need the ability, because at the time I was just playing Automa games, and I got the thing, I can't play Automa games on the big screen. Like, even if I was alone in the house, I would just not want to play that on the big screen. I don't need to see my husbandos on the big screen. So I'm like, so because of that, I had no desire to connect it to television, so I got a Nintendo Switch Lite, and that is durable. Like, I've dropped that thing, and it hasn't broke. I don't want to say it's not gonna break, because the moment I do, it's gonna break. But yeah, I got a Nintendo Switch Lite, and it is pretty durable. I also still got a protection case on it, though, because I'm still like, I paid for that baby myself. Actually, my Grammy helped me buy that, because she gave me some extra money for it, and that was, because of that, I was able to actually reach my goal. I got a Nintendo Switch Lite also because it was just cheaper, but by the time I actually bought the case and the games that I wanted to go with it, I spent the same price I would have did if I did the Nintendo Switch normal. But then again, I mean, if I did the Nintendo Switch normal and I bought a case and then I bought, like, the games, then that still would have been the same price. I mean, that would have been even more. So it's not like... So I did save money in the end. It's not like if I bought a Nintendo Switch normal, I would have still had to buy the other games, and I still would have had to buy the, case. I actually think I have more Switch games than my brother does. That's the one thing I got him beaten. Like, when it comes to PC games, he's got way more. When it comes to PlayStation 4 games, he has more. Although, half of his game collection I own, because we both own Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 2.5 and 1.5 and whatever you want to call it. I don't know. We own the Kingdom Hearts the story so far, and we own that together because we got it together as for, like, a pre-Christmas gift. And but rather than that, he owns more. I don't own any games on the PS4 besides those. He owns a lot more than I do. And And like I said, I'm not much of a gamer. I actually I've had my computer now for 1 year, my PC. I love it. I can safely say this was definitely worth the money I paid for it. But I just now downloaded my Switch, my Steam games. I only had some of them downloaded. Most of them weren't. And I just now downloaded them. Anyway. Leah says, Vita was amazing. I'm sure the Switch's current popularity will result in more portable consoles down the line. Tron was peak. Yes, it was. Just saying, Lordies, this heavy metals is not heavy metal. The band is hard rock. And it was an odd period for the Finnish band. 7th Floor Tango. All this music is from the YouTube audio library because that's what I use for my YouTube videos because I don't want to deal with copyrights or even copy claims. I don't like to deal with that stuff, so it's just like I use the YouTube audio stuff. Like sometimes I'll use the actual like stuff, but for the most part, like some people they just go full on. They use the Persona 5 soundtrack, they'll use Kingdom Hearts, they'll use Death Note, and I'm like, I like to use that, but I just can't because I don't want to get my channel nuked. I worked hard on my channel. If it's gonna be taken down, it will be because I don't want to do YouTube anymore. But even then, I probably just leave it up as a shell, but I don't like doing things that jeopardize it. Okay, we're gonna go for a little bit more, and then I'll probably, let's see how long we've been going. 2 hours and 17 minutes, so we've been going pretty far. I just want to go, let's see, just push a little bit farther, and then, I'll call it a day. Okay, now the yellow's turn. I'm actually gonna open up this because sometimes, wait, oh, I'm in the wrong folder, that's why. Sometimes the best color palette is, oh, that's original works, fan art. Sometimes the best color palette is from a different drawing that you've already used. I ended up making all of the Disney princesses 1 year. That was a good year. I was very happy with it. Looking back at these drawings, it's like, I feel like I could have done better, but just the fact that I did do it was an achievement of itself. Because usually when I start, that's why I don't like starting drawing series, because what happens is I end up never finishing them. Like, I wanted to do a birthstone project. I started it, never finished it. I wanted to do a style challenge, which is what I'm doing now for Misato, but I ended up doing it originally for my character Kyla. I started it, never finished it. I wanted to do, well, I did do one of Kyla, but it didn't have as many characters or styles. And then I wanted to do, I wanted to do some other kind of challenge too, but I ended up failing on that one as well. So it's like, anytime it's like these long drawing themes that I have to do several drawings for, I usually just never finish them. But the princess one I did. So because of that, I was excited. And some of them I really am proud of. Like, I love the drawing that I drew of Kalila. It's old, but I'm still proud of it. I think I really did a good job on shading it. For the Snow White one that I did, I don't actually think it's a bad one. I just think her dress, outside of the collar, I think the rest of it could have had some work done. Although the pose was really hard, because when people are, when girls are laying down in their dresses like that, it's really hard for me to visualize unless I have like a reference. and I try to look up references, but I can never find something in the exact same pose that I'm drawing. So because of that, it's hard for me to visualize how the fabric would be bending. Totally bad. Boss Detective says my head feels like it's imploding. Of information or because you have a headache? If you have a headache, I'm sorry. I'm lucky. I don't get headaches that much. I'm so grateful. A lot of my family do. I do not. But when I do get a headache, it is bad because I do not. I do not. Since I do not get them very much, I'm not used to them. Like at all. So when it hits, it hurts hard. I want to make the colors of this outfit pop. Even back when I didn't like Snow White was probably my least favorite princess. Mainly because I wasn't a fan of her bob cut and the way it was done. It's definitely warmed up on me. I loved her color scheme though. The color scheme though was one of the things that I always did like. Like I said, I'm gonna rewatch all the Disney princess movies. And I'm gonna start with my favorite, Little Mermaid. Then probably go from there, from order of my favorites. Well, maybe not that, because I want to watch Snow White. And Snow White, I definitely got a lot more appreciation for, but still not my favorite. My favorite will always be Little Mermaid, then Sleeping Beauty, and then Tangled, then it's a toss-up. Sometimes it's Aladdin, sometimes it is Cinderella, which is funny because Cinderella is one of those that I didn't really care for that much when I was a really little kid, but when Cinderella Free came out, I started getting a real new appreciation for it. Cinderella Free actually isn't a bad sequel. Like, I actually like it. I mean, it's not like, it's very it's got time travel in it, so that's something that definitely not in the original one, and it's definitely not in the same vein. So if you don't think you'll like it, then you might not. But I think the story is definitely good, and I think it holds very true to the original's feeling, at the very least. The songs are more poppy, though. That's one thing that the remakes always do, and I don't like that, but it's just something you kind of gotta accept they're going to do. I think the best direct-to-DVD sequels that Disney made was Aladdin #3, Peter Pan Return to Neverland. I think because they had a book that they were going off of. That was good. I love the scene when he re-meets Jane when she's older. That is a beautiful scene. And Cinderella Free, Twist in Time, and I wish Little Mermaid had good sequels, but I mean, I liked them when I was a kid, but now as an adult, I'm like, they're not they could have had some, it could have been better. Could have been better. I do not like prequels, and that is why Little Mermaid, because they call it Little Mermaid Free, but it's a prequel, and they do that scene where they fake out the death, and I hate that because it's like, it's a prequel, we know they're not going to die. I mean, it's bad enough we already know they're not going to die because it's a Disney film, and Disney doesn't kill off its main characters like that, but we also know it's not going to die because it's like the rest of the movies. What the heck? Oh, this has got like an opera, so we're going to go to the next one. And, yeah, I think, I do not like that. Although, Bambi too, that one isn't bad. I do like that. I'm not one of those people who can't watch Bambi without crying. I didn't used to be that way, but now I am. I used to not cry for Bambi's mother's death, but I didn't. Half of it is because it was my grandmother's favorite movie. But another half of it's just because it's a really beautiful movie! And the fact that they don't do 2D animation is so sad. Totally Boss Detective says, I have a bad headache right now. Don't know where it came from. Aww. Oh, I guess you have a headache too. Yeah. Headaches suck. I think it's funny because I said I wasn't gonna go that long, but it's just like, I think I'm going longer than I've ever had because it's just like I can't figure out where to stop. But I think I'll stop right after the skirt, just because I have been going a long time. But boy, have I had a lot of fun with this. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there, and then if I go back, I will... Oh wait, I gotta do this, because if I don't, then I'll forget that I didn't do it. There we go. I gotta finish up the yellow. So we'll finish up the yellow, and then we'll do the red and the blue when I come... If I do this drawing again. I'm not sure. The last drawings I did on art streams, I didn't actually finish them yet. They were also Masato, but I didn't finish them because I haven't been in the mood. I gotta feel the inspiration for a drawing. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I gotta say I'm really happy with how this is turning out. There we go. Probably if I want to do like a touch up here and there, I'll do it later. But I think... There we go. Wait. Okay, there we go. That was the stream. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I know I had a lot of fun. Thank you everyone who showed up. It means a lot. I always have a blast doing these things, and since this was so last minute, like really, I couldn't even get my mic to work last night. My brother ended up helping me get it back to working again. He was actually more invested in it than I was, because I was just kind of like, just forget about it. But he's like, nope. And I'm like, whatever. And he got it back to working, so that's great. And so, yeah, I had a lot of fun. I will be maybe streaming again next week. No, not next week, but the next week after that. But I do not know. I take everything as it comes. Anyway, goodbye. Hope you guys all had a nice day. And for those who have headaches, feel better.